Ashley, big problem. It's about Jamie.
What? Oh, Naya. Good morning. What happened with Jamie?
I'm sorry for saying something the morning of your wedding that's going to be really bad news to you. But Jamie's car ended up having a flat tire on his way there.
Wait, really?
He was just pulling out of his driveway when he noticed the flat, and he's been looking at it ever since. He came and told me to give you a call since I happen to be the closest person living to him that knows you. I'm sorry, but he's asking you to come out here and pick him up right now to take him to your wedding venue today while his car gets taken to the shop.
Understood.
Oh, and from now on, can you just contact me if you have any more questions? He's calling with one of his friends right now that works for a car shop, and he's going to have to be on the phone for some time talking to them. He also told me that after this call, he's going to have to wait for a call back from them about getting a truck out here to tow his car.
Sounds good. Thanks for contacting me about this, Naya. I'm leaving my house right now, and I can be over there to get him really soon.
Yo, Ashley! Are you still not on your way to this restaurant to have our wedding? I'm here with the rest of my family right now waiting to see you here. Jesus! I can't believe you're gonna pull a stunt like this, putting your name down as the most pain-in-the-butt bride there ever was. If you're gonna be late today, at least tell me that. I'm gonna start getting things ready over here for the wedding while I wait for you. You have to understand that we're throwing a wedding in a restaurant where we reserved the whole place, which means a lot of money is going into it that I do not want to waste playing around with you. If you're not here soon, I'm gonna cancel this wedding without any hesitation. Understand? Get your butt here now! Time is up. I've gone and ended this wedding with you. And in your place, I'm gonna get married to Naya. Both my parents and hers have talked everything out, so even if you make it here now, it's far too late for you to do anything to change this. I even made sure to tell the staff here not to let you in if you come, so forget even trying. Jesus. Now I'm gonna have to get a divorce and everything before I can do anything with Naya. And then you and your familyless butt can sit there and rot away by yourself. Your lack of responsibility is gonna go down with your name in history as the worst thing ever about you. Also, there's a high chance that you've been cheating on me this whole time. Just a second ago, Naya was acting all strange, talking about how she wanted to say something about it, but she couldn't decide whether or not to. But then she came up to me crying that she had seen you with another man having sexual relations with one another. Thankfully, this wedding is being held at the restaurant one of my friends happens to own, so it was all too easy for me to tell him and the staff that I'd now be getting married to Naya instead of you. With that, as I had just said, I'm making Naya my wife now. And as for you, I'm gonna make sure to get every cent that I can out of you in a settlement.
My plan to get Jamie to want to marry me today was a success. You being such a simpleton without a worry in the world really helped my plan go smoothly for me. To tell you the truth, I was lying about Jamie's car ever having a flat tire that prevented him from going to the wedding. When I told you about that, he was already on his way to the restaurant wedding and didn't actually need you coming to his place to pick him up. And then, when you showed up looking for him in his car, I was able to push you into his garage and close it on you, locking you inside of it. So that was my first mission completed, and now I'm working on completing my second mission today. I was able to make it to the restaurant just in time to find him in the changing room all worked up over you not arriving yet. And there I told him another lie about how I'd seen you having sex with another man recently and are cheating on Jamie. And just like that, all the anger he had vanished, and he ran into my arms. I told him that if he were with me, I would never cheat on him or come late to a really important event like our wedding before asking him to marry me. And he took me in his arms and told me yes. That right there was the moment that two longtime friends who had never been anything more than that tied the knot of love and became a couple. So, with all that said, until this wedding is over with, you're going to be waiting in his garage quietly for me, please.
What the heck? Naya, you went and tricked me into coming out here? And you took my place as Jamie's bride? Are you freaking kidding me right now?
Well, hello, Ashley. So you managed to get out of his garage?
After smashing into the door on the side of it over and over again, I was able to break it down.
Wow. So you're like some kind of a beast now or something. Scary.
I ran back to my car and grabbed my phone that I'd left in there to see what all I had missed. All of this... Why, Naya? Why would you do this to me? Going and taking my place as the bride at my wedding? What kind of BS are you thinking?
I did it because I love Jamie, of course. Ever since he and I were born, we've been with one another. Yet sometime later, you barged in the way of me and took him. You are a serious nuisance.
You're saying that I barged in and took him from you? Stop trying to make me seem like some kind of a monster, okay? Also, all you and him ever were longtime friends and nothing more. Sure, you both have been close to one another, but neither of you did anything with one another before I came. And he even said it himself that he wasn't into you much. If you really loved him as much as you say you do, then why the hell didn't you open up about your feelings for him before all of this happened?
Shut your mouth. Also, it's too late for you now. He and I have tied the knot with one another. And just a second ago, I stood in the place of you in your wedding dress cutting the cake. Jamie also made sure to have the name on the cake changed from yours to mine after he heard that you cheated on him. Jamie told me that he was happy to have me becoming his bride today, and he'd forever cherish this moment.
Huh?
And just like that, I'm now his wife.
Then that would mean my dress.
Oh, that's right. I'm going to wear your dance dress you had ready as well soon, so that I don't have to go home and get one of my own. Thankfully, you and I are both the same size all around, so I didn't have to worry about the wedding or dance dress today.
You bitch.
These are both rentals, so stop getting all worked up about me wearing them.
They're not rentals.
What?
Both of those dresses are dresses that a dear friend of mine out in France made for me and then sent to the U.S. Both of them together are close to $15,000.
Huh?
Since you think you can just take everything from me after having locked me in a garage, I'm going to make you pay.
What? Well, so what, I guess. I'm sure that Jamie will step in and do something for me there. At least for me, once this wedding and party are all over with, he and I can go to the courthouse and get married to one another for real.
Once the wedding and party are over with? In other words, you're going straight there to do all that paperwork?
That's right. We already made sure to fill out all the paperwork before we got the wedding on the road, so all we have to do afterwards is take them into the courthouse and hand them in.
Jamie and I are both married right now, though.
What?
You didn't know about that?
Huh?
We haven't moved in with one another yet, but 2 weeks ago we went to the courthouse and handed in the papers to get married.
You're kidding me!
So, all of this crap you sent me about completing your plan to lock me away in Jamie's garage and take that wedding from me so that you can be married to him, I'm sending screenshots of right now.
What? Hold on a sec.
Also, while we've been talking here, I've been looking into something. While you were pushing me into the garage and closing the door and locking it on me, My car's drive recorder captured it all on tape. Your car has a drive recorder on it? I wonder how he's going to react to watching all of that, right? Stop that!
What the heck is all this? Are you serious about this? Naya went and did all of this to you?
Jamie, have you read through all the screenshots that I sent you?
Ashley! So the reason you never showed up here or said anything to me about being late is because of this? That freaking bitch, Naya! How dare she do all of that to us? All because she wanted to marry me? What the heck did she do to my wife?
Right, she really is a total bitch for all the things she's done. But on the day of our wedding, you not being able to get a hold of me before the wedding started could have been because I was in an accident or really sick or who knows. There are plenty of scenarios where I could have been in trouble and had no way of texting you about what happened to me. But you never once thought that any of those could have been the reason for me not showing up, right? Me not showing up to the wedding equaled me not being someone you can trust in your head. And then your friend Naya comes in and says a few things, which you believe almost immediately, and tell her that you're going to marry her instead of me? And then change the whole wedding to make her your bride instead of me? Also, you did something there, didn't you? A lot of things, actually. All I thought I had to do was break out of that garage that I was locked into by Naya and get to my phone so that I could contact you. And when I did get out, all I thought I needed was to get to the wedding as soon as possible, as not to worry you any longer. But when I went and read everything on my phone...
Ashley, the thing is, after I saw the truth and why you weren't ever able to make it, I knew that I still wanted to be married to you. And I'm going to cut ties to Naya as well. And as for this wedding today, you and I can start over and do everything I already did today with you. If you really want to, we can go overseas this time for the wedding and make it a very fancy one, having everything you ever wanted there. All right? That shouldn't be a problem for you, right?
How would that solve anything, Jamie?
What?
Instead of even asking me what happened and trying to talk with any of my friends about why I wasn't there yet, you started to criticize me over text and lash out like I've never seen you do before. And then you started to go on about how I cheated on you based on what Naya said. And then you told me that you would be having the wedding with your longtime friend instead of me since I hadn't shown up yet, and that you'd be divorcing me. Well, you know what, Jamie? We are getting that divorce now, like you said.
A divorce?
I'm going to get myself a lawyer, and then I'm going to make sure I get a settlement from you.
Wait!
I'm going to drive you into the ground over what you've done today.
No, wait, come on now. Today at your wedding, all of your friends that came said that what I was doing was insane, and all began to leave before the wedding actually started. If you divorce me now, them all having the wrong idea about me will only make things harder for you, correct?
Well, here's the thing. All of my friends have been talking about what happened today in our group chat. And I already explained to them what happened between you and Naya and I.
Huh?
So all of my friends know the truth about you and don't have the wrong idea whatsoever.
Are you joking right now? In that group is the daughter of my company's CEO?
That's right. She happened to be a friend of mine from university that I wanted to come to the wedding today. And she told me that she was going to have a word with all your coworkers later on that you had at your wedding today so that they would understand what happened.
What the hell is she thinking? And why were you not thinking about my position in the company before letting her do that?
Listen, bud, did something happen to you? Are you all right? Neither of those things came from you before you automatically started to dig into me and then say you'd marry Naya. That's what I thought my husband would be asking me instead of getting pissed off like you did. I just wanted you to worry about me in case I did get into an accident or something. After breaking out of your garage, I went and looked through all those things you said about me. Calling me names and things like that, and saying that I'd been cheating on you. I can't believe you anymore. As for the divorce, I'll have my lawyer get in touch with you in a few days. They'll be the one to give you the paperwork as well.
Ashley?
Goodbye forever. After that, I had my lawyer do all the talking with Jamie as I could no longer stand him anymore. It took a long time for anything to get anywhere in terms of the divorce, up until one day we noticed that Naya was pregnant. And upon further investigation, it turned out that the baby was Jamie's. And that was the end of our discussions as the divorce was then forced to happen. And in the end, Jamie and Naya got married to one another officially. Just like she'd wanted, she had the man she'd always loved and been around. But at the same time, she would be paying for my dresses that she wore and the settlement that I was getting from her and Jamie. They would both pay me everything within a week of one another, and my lawyer told me that they both had to borrow a lot of money to do so, and went into some pretty heavy debt. And not too long after that, her and Jamie were both told by all their friends that they were nothing to them anymore. As for Jamie's parents, both of them told him that he had lied to them about why he was making Naya his bride at the wedding, and said they wouldn't forgive him for that. And that led to them disowning him. With nobody supporting their marriage, and them not even being in love with one another anymore, it took only half a year of going through hell for them to get a divorce. And then they both ran away to different parts of the state, never talking to one another again. The only good thing that came out of that mess was Jamie's parents taking the baby that Jamie and Naya had and not letting him see it anymore. As for myself, I made sure to have Jamie pay for the whole entire wedding as well. So I was the only one who actually gained money from the whole ordeal. And although it was heartbreaking for me at first, I am still very young and have plenty more time to find a true man that loves me, which I can marry. However, for the time being, I'm going to put finding a new man on the back burner and use some of this money to take a few trips around the world like I've always wanted to do. Thank you for watching and listening. We hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Also, feel free to leave a comment about what you thought of the story. We look forward to seeing you at the next story. Dad, are you still working? Because today should be the day you finish that business trip and come home, right? I wanted to ask if I'm really your kid. I'm your kid, right? No matter how I think about it, I believe I'm yours, but...
Abby? What's going on? Why are you asking me something like that?
Mom's friend, Mrs. Bauer, is saying some weird things to me.
Mrs. Bauer? Is she the really strangely dressed woman who lives on the first floor of the apartment complex?
That's her.
What all has she said to you?
She told me that I'm not actually your daughter.
Ah.
She's wrong about that, right? I'm related to you by blood, making me your real daughter, right?
Of course you're my daughter. I've spoken to you before about how your mother, who passed away long ago, your real mother, had you while her and I were together, right?
You did.
Mrs. Bauer wasn't even around during those times, so I'm not sure what all she's talking about. And it's not like she's close to our family anyway, so she really needs to mind her own business. Perhaps she's mistaking you for someone else's kid?
That's what I think. Thank goodness you think the same thing.
But why would that person ever say anything like that to you? Later on, I'll have to talk with her about that and explain everything to her so that she doesn't say those same things about you again.
About Mom?
Huh?
She was crying really badly, saying that she needed to stop all of this strange talk about us before it started to spread to everyone. And then she ran off.
You think she went to go and talk with Mrs. Bauer?
I think so. She's already there now, I think.
I see.
I think everything will be fine, though.
A lot of the people in this apartment complex have been here a long time with us and know about what happened. Mrs. Bauer and her family only moved here half a year ago, so I hadn't gotten around to explaining anything to her about us, but I probably have to now. I just didn't want to bother her and her family yet.
I see.
Now that I think about it, when she came to our room with her husband to introduce themselves, we traded phone numbers.
You did?
She told me that she wanted to have everyone who lives in this apartment complex's number in case there's ever an emergency. So that's the only reason we exchanged phone numbers then. I've never talked with her or anything, over the phone or with text, though.
You never really have a reason to, so I don't blame you for not talking to her or her husband.
I'm a bit worried about your mom right now since she ran off to Mrs. Bauer's place. Right now, I'm getting on the plane to fly back home to you both. There'll be Wi-Fi on the plane so you can text me if anything happens while I'm on my way home. All right?
All right. Thank you, Dad.
Excuse me, but this is Abby's father, Bo, who I'm texting right now?
What?
My name is Rebecca, and I'm currently living in room 105 of our apartment building.
Ah, nice to meet you again. Are you wanting to talk about my daughter then, and that's why you're texting me now?
That's right. So you must have heard about things from her already?
That's correct. Just a little bit ago, her and I were talking with one another about it. I'm not really sure where all the confusion about things had started, but my daughter is 100% related to me by blood, and I have her birth certificate and everything to prove just that. I'd like it if you'd please stop saying such strange things to her from here on out.
Are you kidding me? You have still not noticed anything about this yet?
What are you talking about?
I wonder what I could be talking about. Could you please let your wife know about this for me? If you don't, and I start to get all upset here, then I can have my brother and all his old friends come out to your apartment and make you wish you'd just accepted the truth.
Excuse me?
In the past, I was involved with a lot of street gangs, all right? My older brother was the head of one of those gangs, and if you piss me off, you'll be pissing him off, and things will get scary. Dad, there's an emergency.
What's happened?
Mom came back home and her cheek is all bruised and swollen.
What?
She told me that Mrs. Bauer punched her in the face.
She punched your mom?
She didn't listen to anything Mom was trying to say, and then she punched Mom to get her to shut up. I'm helping her put ice on her cheek right now, but it looks like the inside of her mouth is all cut up.
What the hell?
We should go to the hospital, right? Because the bleeding isn't stopping from her mouth.
Yes, please go there.
All right, I'll go and let the old man next door know about what's happened, and we need to leave.
Good idea. When you get to the hospital, make sure to let the doctor know that Mom was assaulted and that a police report and everything needs to be made up. Once your mom's mouth has been taken care of, head to Grandma and Grandpa's house and stay there.
Okay.
Please, take good care of your mom for me.
All right. Listen, bud. Don't be ghosting me like that right in the middle of our discussion.
Sorry, there was an emergency that came up, and so I had to focus all of my attention on that for a bit.
An emergency?
Right now, I'm on my way to go see my wife, who got punched in the cheek by you. Tell me, what was all that about?
I did that because she was asking to take a knuckle sandwich to her left cheek. That woman? She has balls of steel showing up at my door again like that, whining about things. And you, Bo. You need to get real with me and stop playing around.
What are you talking about right now?
I am talking about the secret of Abby's birth. Abby is really my husband's daughter, and we all should know that by now. You are not her real dad, and I want her to stop calling you that. Hence why I told her the truth. In other words, this all happened years ago, about a year before Abby was born, where your wife was with my husband cheating on the both of us.
But before things could be handled, your wife married you, and then she had Abby, and you took the position of being her father.
Huh?
And I have hated you ever since because you never noticed that your wife had cheated on you with my man.
Listen to this then, Rebecca. My wife has never been pregnant while she's been with me.
What?
Her and I only started dating about 4 years ago, and 2 years ago we got married. This was her first time getting married, and I got married to her, bringing my daughter Abby along with me. This is my second time being married now.
Huh?
That means Abby is still related to me by blood because my previous wife gave birth to her after we tried for so long to have a baby, and my current wife is like her stepmother.
Stepmother?
This might be a little bit of a sidetrack, but if you take my daughter's age of 15 and add 1 year to it, that would be 16 years ago. But at that time, I was with Abby's real mother, and we were happily married to one another. I was never going out with my current wife then, so I cannot speak for whatever she was up to.
What? Huh? Abby, she's 15 years old?
That's correct.
What? But she was telling me all about how she had this test she was taking at the local elementary school before she graduated from there.
She was only taking her 8th grade exams at the elementary school because her middle school is having some construction done, and that would distract the students. After the exam, she'll be graduating from there and going to high school.
Huh? Oh, so she's not going into middle school?
Did you think that she was younger and still in 5th grade?
Yeah.
I suppose my daughter isn't the tallest girl, and one could say she's a late bloomer, but she's normally wearing her school's soccer uniform when she comes home from school. Did you not see that it was for her middle school?
I'm never home in the afternoon, so I only see her when she's going to school in the morning.
Is that so? Understood then.
But, Bo, I'm not kidding when I say that your wife had been having relations with my husband.
Is that something that's still going on currently?
Yes! Half a year ago, when my family moved into this building, they got back together and have been having an affair ever since. I made a mistake about who Abby's real father was and all that, but I know for a fact that my husband is cheating on me with your wife.
And do you have evidence of this?
I've seen them together plenty of times now. They both come out of the office building over by Hartford Station, and it's during the middle of the day when they should still be inside working.
How often are they doing such a thing?
At least twice a week. And the rest of the time they're together is after work or at work outings when they have to stay late.
That's very strange, Rebecca.
How is any of that strange?
Because my wife is currently working at an accounting office right down the street from this apartment complex.
Huh?
She's currently working as a part of the company's management and has been there for some time. So I'm not sure that she's making the 45-minute trip all the way out to Hartford Station to see your husband twice a week.
What? Oh, you're kidding me.
Rebecca?
What?
Actually, my wife's cousin happens to work out over in that area and can be seen going to and from that station quite a lot.
Cousin?
Here's something that you might benefit from hearing about that cousin. She happens to share a lot of the same features as my wife and will sometimes be misidentified as my wife when going out around this part of the city. So I think you made the same mistake.
Are you serious? I can't believe I got your wife mixed up with her.
Now listen, Rebecca. There's something else. You are also cheating currently, aren't you?
Huh? What the hell are you talking about now?
You are going out with the store manager of the store you work at part-time. And that daughter of yours you had a little while back happens to be that store manager's daughter.
Wait, what?
The fact that you were going off on my family and me for something that wasn't even happening, all while your situation is one and the same to what you thought was going on here? I don't care if you made a mistake and became confused about us. In the position you're in, there's no reason for my wife to be punched by a hypocrite.
Who the hell are you? How do you know about all of that?
This was the outcome of what an investigator found out for your husband, who asked him to look into you.
Huh? An investigator?
As a matter of fact, during that same time you went and punched my wife in the face for no reason at all, I got a call from your husband about all of this. He told me all sorts of things about you after he learned from the investigator. Also, your husband and my wife's cousin happen to both work for that same company, yes, but they're never doing anything besides taking their lunch break at the same time and talking business.
What?
And if you'd like evidence of that, you can ask their company for the security gate records of when they go in and out of the building and see it lining up with their lunch. And if that's not enough for you, the company also has all the records of the projects they've had to work on together, and that some of those projects require them to stay late after work and get them done. So, your husband has not been cheating on you yet, Rebecca? You claimed they were cheating just because you saw them together, and you went around saying that to everyone, right? Of course, while you'd say that, you'd also go on about how if your husband was going to cheat, you'd do the exact same thing. And that's why you've started to have an affair with the store manager.
Wait, huh?
There was a lot of information in all of what I just said, so I can understand you not taking in everything all at once. But I'll make things simple for you now. 1, besides you and your store manager, nobody else is having an affair. 2, you just committed a crime in all your confusion. There you go.
No way.
Take a few more reads through all of this so that you can get a good understanding of what all has happened, please.
Do you think you can just say things like that to me? After hearing about you saying I've committed a crime by hitting your wife and your lies about me having an affair with my store manager, my brother and his gang will not leave you alone.
Is that so? Well, I'm aware that you're the little sister of Jacob Roberts, who was the leader of the street gang Heaven's Demons, right?
Huh? Heaven's Demons?
Go let him know not to do a thing after this. Unless he's willing to have all of those things from his past brought back up and then face his rival street gang.
What? Are you talking about Satan's Angels? The gang that's insanely strong now?
In the past they were.
I'm so sorry.
The next day, Rebecca's husband got a divorce from her, and that's also when her husband found out the daughter she had wasn't his. And so he had the both of them leave his apartment together and told her to never bring that child back to him. I was coming back home right as she was being kicked out, and when our eyes met, she screamed her head off before taking her daughter and sprinting out of the building. How rude! Rebecca would later be asked to pay a large settlement in the divorce since she had cheated and had a child with another man and would have to do so in one lump payment. She tried to get some form of child support from her husband in the divorce, though, but once again, the child was not her husband's, and so his lawyer told her there was nothing she could do about that. That settlement in the divorce wasn't going to be the only thing Rebecca had to pay, though, as my wife also got a settlement from her for being assaulted, and that had to be paid in one lump payment as well. This settlement turned out to be even larger than the one her husband had asked for, since she'd be paying for all the medical bills my wife received for not only stitching up the inside of her mouth, but for the pain medication she'd be on after having her cheekbone fractured. It only took a few days after the court ruling, and all that money my wife had asked for was paid.
My wife and daughter both said she was being very quiet and smart now by paying that settlement without fighting back at all. And I said that it's almost like she'd learned her place after our talk, all while laughing. Thank you for watching and listening. We hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Also, feel free to leave a comment about what you thought of the story. We look forward to seeing you at the next story.